Bam. We should be recording. Hello. Hello, internet web land. The headaches are starting to subside. Now that I've been on a biologic, I'm starting to get some energy back here and there. I talked to a lawyer a bit about the doctors not letting me get off methotrexate. And there isn't enough there to be done with that. But I figure, from now on, I've had enough legal troubles with what made me sick in my job. And, now I'm going to go on the internet and talk about it if I'm going to be going through it again. Because it's, I was doing electrical work for the city. Sometimes we had to remove things like dioxin components. Sometimes we got, zapped. I got zapped bad in the leg, and then I had an immune disorder. And, these companies, they just want to turn around and say, it's not work-related, it's genetic. You're welcome for doing the jobs you can't do yourselves. So anyway, I try not to be grumpy about it because, I ain't the only one. And I don't feel like I'm just talking about this for myself. I feel like I'm one of many other voices who have been in situations where they got screwed by employers or by policies or by insurance package changes. But I don't want to get into that too much. I really want to focus on the positive. I'm grateful that I feel better. That I have less headaches. My neck is actually starting to heal. All right, for the first time in 7 years since that started, I started getting this lump and this burn that started appearing back here, and I couldn't wear headphones. And now actually I don't even want to wear headphones at all anymore. It just bothers it. Including talking on the phone in the right ear. If I talk on the phone, I try to do the left ear because it just irritates. But, never in my life could I have imagined that I'd develop a problem like this. I didn't think anything was going to stop me from graduating. But that just goes into another story of all that other crazy shit during the time I was in there. Before it was COVID, they called it SARS. But I don't want to make that the topic of the video either. I'm just kind of ranting a bit because, I would have, if I didn't agree to keep my life private and off the internet for a job, for a career, I would have kept playing guitar and been in bands and have been messing around in entertainment anyway. I would have been trying to jam with bands and make music and try to have a good time, and I would have done it anyway, so it's I've never had stage fright in my life. I remember performing with people that were so much more talented than I was, but they were always so nervous. And I think the best influence I ever had was helping other people have a good time and not be nervous. And then when we get up on stage, they end up being amazing, and I'm the one feeling oh, I'm slacking now. I'm the one falling behind. Oh, shit. I miss those times. Those were good times, There's so many people I jammed with in the past. Some of them aren't even alive no more. So I'm not playing with my guitar yet because my leg still bothers me and how I sit. I've been looking at little backpacker guitars, little light things, lute-sized, little handheld acoustic ones. I had one, but it got messed up. Just the container it was in, just too much oxygen, it warped. Yeah, gotta replace it. My acoustic's fine, but acoustics are big and girthy, and I can't sit with that properly. I tried to, I think a week ago I was messing around, made some videos of that. So I'm not quite back in the mood of playing guitar yet. I've had some video that this would start cracking and bleeding when I put pressure on it, or I was playing guitar or tried to do anything. So, I had to quit the one thing I loved in life that I felt kept me sane. That was difficult. But this is healing now too. So my neck is healing, and my arm is healing more. And unfortunately, I'm over 40 now. So I'm where'd my life go? I feel like I spent a decade in and out of doctors' offices trying all their medicines. And putting up with them saying, insurance won't approve this, but we'll fight for you. Oh, insurance didn't approve it again, but we'll fight for you. Insurance isn't going to approve that, but we'll fight for you. Okay, Doc. Thank God I moved out of the state of Massachusetts. which I can't believe. It's like the hub of like medical students in the world, I guess. And people send their come from all over the world to go to Boston to become doctors. So I still don't get it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say because there's so much. Like Boston Medical Center had so many issues. There were some great doctors, but there was some. It was like in one ear and out the other with them, and they just made up whatever thing they wanted to and rushed me out the door. And well, thank God one doctor saved my life. He was like, that one doctor had to tell the rest of the doctors that their treatments weren't gonna work, that they weren't enough. He said I needed methotrexate. I needed something more significant for my immune system. And I was never diagnosed with an underlying cause. You know, it's you know, and I don't know what else the lawyers can do to help me with that. I just want to stand up for myself and say, I used to be a somebody. I put in the work. I worked until my legs stopped responding properly. You know? Now I'm lucky if my arms are going to keep working, man. You know, I dropped maybe 10 coffee cups this year. And I used to work with tools all day, and I used to be intricate with my fingers. Like, my rheumatologist says, well, it's because everything's connected to the spine and you have spinal inflammation. But you don't have any inflammation in your joints. So it's not this, it's not that. But anyway, I might keep dabbling in video games, but because the fact I'm over 40 keeps haunting at me, I'm like, ain't nobody that much younger than me gonna relate to me in any way. And I opted out of kids stuff a long time ago because I'm not. Hey, if Mr. Rogers isn't going to approve to me, I don't need to be talking to kids. You know, that's for, you know, you let your kids watch me. That's on you, parent. You know, I opted out of that stuff from day one. I knew better. But, I don't know. I'm just glad I have more energy. I just feel like I'm coming out of a foggy haze in life. And I see other people who are sick with COVID. They've been diagnosed with COVID and long COVID. I'm like, you know, I don't know. That's the one thing. I feel like I've been impervious to that, except for nearly dying from the immune disorder I had during SARS. You know, not being able to breathe. That was tough. But, you know, anyway, I met the methotrexate. I will say the first 2 years I was on it, it felt like it was saving my life in exchange for having headaches for 2 or 3 days. And those headaches didn't stop. And the last 3 years, I've been pleading with them, help me get off it. And they're like, the insurance won't approve it. Insurance denies you. Even my primary care, I went back to my primary care in Boston, said that these BMC doctors are saying that insurance won't approve anything. And my primary care says, well, they're not liver specialists. I am. Let me look at your blood labs. They're not as qualified to rate them as I am. I thought that was finally a break in the clouds, that I would get my medicine approved. So he looks at them, and he does say to me, he says, yes, actually, your blood labs look normal, but we'll continue to monitor them. And because my blood labs looked better, confirmed by a liver specialist, apparently insurance said, well, then you don't need to get off methotrexate. You know? Why? Because I couldn't prove I was having headaches that were putting me down. I couldn't talk. I had trouble seeing. Yeah, I couldn't walk. I was feeling so dizzy. And there was no way to prove it, though, because my labs looked normal. Geez, I saw a caricature the other day of someone laying on a coffin with their doctor standing over them saying, your blood work came back normal. Meanwhile, they're dead in a coffin. Anyway, I don't know. This is a mad world we're living in. And what else can I say? You know, it's probably my girlfriend who's passed away, God rest her soul. She used to say that I survived my job for a reason. And maybe I wasn't meant to work in electrical work. You know, like I grew up with it a bit. My grandfather and my father used to repair TVs. My grandfather was a brilliant man, a pilot. He could take anything apart, put it back together. You know, so I always thought that I just had that in my genes, and I did. For years, people loved my work, and then I get into that apprenticeship. And for some reason, the last 2 years felt like I was falling backwards through very troubled people. Very troubled people. And when I stood up for myself, some of those troubled people responded to me like, "Who do you think you are, raising your voice to me? Who do you think you are, standing up for yourself? Who do you think I am? I grew up on the streets of East Boston, guy." I'm going to stop myself. There. Because the nerve of some of these guys to try and talk down to me after all I've been through, and I'm trying to help them get through their day smoothly and safely, and they want to talk to me like some jerk because they can't stay sober. Get off your crutch. I want to say man up. What I got for manning up? Still alive. Maybe I'll screw it up from it. But I don't have to get into, what do they call that? Toxic masculinity. Who's the alpha? I'm the alpha. No, he's the alpha. They're the alpha. Clown show. All right, I don't need to rant anymore. I've got all this pent up energy, and I don't have any script put together. So maybe I should do that next time. A friend of mine said, you should put together a script so you stay on topic. Yeah, I've been thinking about things. What I might be able to do, God willing. Should I have the ability to do it. Still alive for now. Gotta pay the rent. Gotta buy the food. And the beat goes on. Alright, I guess that's my rant for today. I might go try and play a video game. Maybe next week I'll try and pick up the guitar again. Go over some riffs or something. So long and be well.